Good evening. This video is a video response to the Pipe Nook for his 5,000 subscriber giveaway. He asked for either a story about somebody commenting on your pipe smoking, or a story about your first time smoking a pipe. I have kind of funny stories for both of those. They both have to do with the perception of a pipe smoker, right? So the first story is somebody's perception of me as a pipe smoker. Now, I acknowledge that I am considered young in the pipe smoking community. I'm 22 years old, and I started smoking a pipe when I was 18. It was the first form of tobacco that I ever tried. It was pipe tobacco. And so, most of the time, when people see me smoking a pipe, they either comment to me how young I am and how pipe smoking is something for grandpas, or they ask me if they can have some of my weed, because they just assume that I'm smoking weed, especially when I'm walking around with a corn cob. But I was sitting at the cigar lounge that I go to, smoking my pipe in the front little lobby area, talking with the tobacconist there. And this mid-40s kind of ratty looking black guy walks in. And we both kind of just assumed, that he was going to buy cigarettes. The dude was wearing really, really ratty clothing. He kind of looked like he was fairly poor, But, so that's just the perception that we got from him. But he's noticed me smoking a pipe, and he kind of nodded a little bit, walked up to the counter and bought like 6 ounces of a cherry blend. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head, but turns to me and says, "Man, you look way too young to be properly smoking that pipe. What kind of pipe is that?" And I said, "This is my Rossi Vittoria author pipe." Showed it to him. And he goes, reaches into his jeans pocket and pulls out this freaking, like, Hans Landa from Inglourious Bastards, that massive pipe the dude has. Pulls out, like, one of those as a meerschaum. And goes, "That ain't no pipe. This is a pipe." This is probably like a $600 to $800 pipe. And he loads it up with his cheap cherry tobacco and starts going into all about how when you have a pipe, you gotta treat it like a baby, blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, wow, that's not expected. So the moral of the story is don't judge a book by its cover. And the other moral of the story is most of the time when older pipe smoking gentlemen notice a young pipe smoker, they're very, very eager to offer advice. They're very eager to show them the ropes, which I think is lovely. It's a lovely little thing about the pipe smoking community that I really like. Is everybody's very interested in sharing their experiences and their knowledge. But then the story about my first ever pipe smoke is kind of funny. I think it's funny. I don't know. I think it's hilarious. But, I'm 18. I'm going to SG Roy's, cigar lounge. And I'm like, I want to buy a pipe. I want to get into pipe smoking. And the guy at the counter is like, all right. He hands me a, starter kit with an estate pipe in it. And 2 ounces of Lane Limited 1Q. And a pipe tamper. And he just hands it to me and says, all right, have fun. And I was like, can you kind of show me how to do this? And he was like, nah, I smoke cigars. I don't know about pipes. I was like, great. So this was before I knew anything about like the YTCB or YTBC. I always mix that up. Or, thought to ask around the cigar lounge or anything. I'm this shy little 18-year-old kid. So me and my I can't remember if we were engaged yet, but my girlfriend at the time, who is now my wife, and I took the pipe out to the park in downtown and sat there and went through, I think, 3 of those big boxes of matches. We went through 3 of those trying to get the damn thing lit. When we finally got it lit, I had packed it so tight that it immediately went out. Instantly. So I was like, great. And I didn't know anything about charring light, nothing. So, but I was determined, I was like, I watched Lord of the Rings. This is a cool thing. This is cool. I'm gonna do it. So, we persisted until we finally, after I think it was 3 hours of trying to get this pipe lit, we finally got it lit. And smoked about half the bowl before my cadence burned me, and the pack was so tight that it just got clogged, So it was overall a miserable experience, but I learned a lot about what not to do. And I imagine most people's first time pipe smoking is like that, unless you have somebody there showing you the ropes, So that brings me back to my first point, my first story. Just, don't be afraid to ask people for advice. Don't be afraid to, ask questions in the comment section or, shoot an email over, because people are very, very eager to teach you, and if you're looking to get into the hobby, it's a learning curve, and that's fine. That's fine, Like for me, pipe smoking went from something that was kind of a pain that I was just determined to learn so that I could say I learned it, to my favorite hobby, I love learning about new tobaccos. I love trying new ways to pack the bowl. I love new pipes. I love making videos. Just everything about pipe smoking now is extremely satisfying for me. So those are my two stories, Eddie. At thepipenook.com. That's another great resource for new pipe smokers, by the way, is thepipenook.com, because I know a lot of people aren't fortunate to have decent pipe retailers in their area. And, you know, like Smoking Pipes and Pipes and Cigars, those are great websites, but if you don't know what you're looking for, you can get so lost on those things. But the Pipe Nook only carries a very, very limited amount of things. It's designed to help new pipe smokers get into the hobby by just being a very easy, moderately priced place to buy your tobacco and your pipes. And from there, you know, once you learn a bit about what you like and what you don't, once you got a couple nice pipes under your belt, you can really branch out on some of those other websites a lot more comfortably. So check out the Pipe Nook if you haven't already. It's a great website. Thank you for bearing with me through my first video response. I don't do these, I really don't, but Eddie is giving away some beautiful Savinellis, so figured I'd give it a shot. Thank you for watching. I hope you have an excellent evening. Happy smoking.